So amazing news on the Gintama front, which we've been doing this for like 1 week, but it's like breaking Gintama news. And by breaking, by the time this video comes out, it's like a week old or something. But like breaking Gintama news, and I'm like, super excited about this actually. Like this is really cool, and it gives me great joy to talk about this. The first thing is apparently Gintama gets the largest opening for a live-action Japanese film in China, which I mean, cool.
Okay.
But the reason, let me explain why I'm confused. To everyone that's like, why is that confusing? From what I've heard, and this might just be from live action films, not like Gintama, like Guardians of the Galaxy and some other live action movies that rely heavily on comedy, they don't translate over well.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I remember hearing someone, hearing some reviews from different people that spoke, I'm going to say Mandarin, assuming that this was released in mainland China, the example I'm talking about was released in mainland China. So someone who read Mandarin and someone who also knew English basically said, "Wow, this reading the subtitles in Mandarin for Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the one that they saw in theaters. They said, "Wow, this is really bad." Right? Like they're like none of the jokes hit. They weren't translated well. This isn't good. So I usually hear that the comedy in certain movies doesn't really translate over well. And it's not just a Chinese thing. It can happen to any series, right? That's why I feel I'm a stickler. I feel weird about when people say, "Oh, you need to translate jokes from Japanese to English, like just directly. You can't be fun with them. You have to just, 1-to-1 and then explain the joke." And I'm like, I get how it's funny mechanically, but not organically, So, and again, in some of these cases, I'm sure the jokes from Guardians of the Galaxy may have not even been translated over, in general. Just like they were just kind of like left plain. They didn't really hit. So it's very interesting how I didn't realize that Gintama apparently was big in China. But apparently bigger than it is in the U.S. The film earned $31.83 million. This is U.S. But it earned, oh God, this is a big number. Can Matt do numbers? 3,480,220. I'm sorry, 3,480,224,800 yen. Okay. Okay, good God. But it's doing pretty well in China, and I'm trying to look at this article here to see if like the anime is doing well in China. I've never heard of the anime doing well in China. When I went to China, I went to Hong Kong to be fair. When I went to Hong Kong when I was 17, so that's like at this point, oh God, I'm turning 25 soon. At this point, that would be 8 years ago. Okay, so when I went there 8 years ago, the big things were Sergeant Frog and Doraemon. Which, funnily enough, I don't know if Sergeant Frog was given a different name, but Doraemon was called Ding Dong. Which, did I say the story on the air already? I don't know if I did.
Not sure.
No, it was a story of basically my aunt was, I'm driving the car with aunt and then her dad. And my aunt, my uncle's Cuban, my aunt is Asian, Chinese. And so she's in the car and her dad and her mom are driving. And then I'm in the car with her and my two cousins. And she just looks out the window and she's like, "Ding dong." And I'm just like, okay. And she points and she's like, because I already had looked out the window and I saw that there was a because we're driving on like a freeway and there's like a giant ad for a new Doraemon film or something.
Right.
And she's like, "Ding dong." And then I'm just like, cool. And then her dad's driving. He's like, "Oh, ding dong." And I'm just like, okay, look. I'm like,
everyone in the car is dead.
I'm sitting here. I'm like, all right, if someone's having like an aneurysm right now, we're all dead. So can we just stop the car in the freeway? Why are people just pointing out? Like dude, I feel like one other person said ding dong, and I was like, all right, it's a zombie virus. Just bite me. Bite me so I can say ding dong, right? And so apparently, okay, well, Tristan's recovering. If anyone's watching the video, he's dead on a desk. Apparently Ding Dong is the Japanese name. They localized Doraemon to Ding Dong. And that's his name. Tristan, you okay, buddy?
That's all I can see now is a zombie horde all screaming out.
Ding
And it's just like the whole world is infected, and it's like,
with
and
ding dong.
everything was silent, and all you could hear as it traveled up to the heavens, ding dong.
well, you know, we got to. You know what would save that world? A time traveling cat. If only we had one. But anyway, the point is that when I was in Hong Kong, those are the two series that I saw, anime that I saw that were doing very well, that were high up on the charts. I don't remember Gintama doing well, and I'm happy that it is. I don't know. I did not think of Gintama doing very. Not that it can't do well in China. I never thought about that. You know. But yeah, no, I'm happy to hear it. I never thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I feel like that Gintama is interesting in a way that its comedy is easy to, well, it's comedy.
Visual gags.
Yes, visual gags, and
Mm.
even like they do have a lot of referential stuff to, Japanese culture and different things like that, current events. But
you know what it is? The anime references are something that, like, are you gonna tell me that China didn't get like Dragon Ball Z or Gundam? You know,
yeah,
like of course they did.
yeah. I mean, there are some more, I guess, inner or
Well, I know there's political stuff, right? At least I've heard.
sometimes.
Yeah, but like,
So, like some things won't. You might have difficulty translating that humor, but I'm saying like a lot of their jokes, kind of, because humor is usually one of the hardest things to translate across language barriers. I feel like the humor in Gintama does translate well to different, peoples and languages, and even if it's just like simple things, there are like simple things like a fart joke or something, but like there is, I don't want to say like higher brow, but like more complicated humor as well, and
yeah, and also, you know, what matters is that, like, you know, it's like, oh, it's hard to translate, so then they may have just not. Like, things can easily be cut from dubs, you know?
yeah.
I mean, we were just talking about the Glitter Force dub earlier, you know? Or the Glitter Force dub, the Precure dub, Doki Doki, that became Glitter Force 2. You know, so we were talking about that earlier. I mean, like, it can happen to anything.
Yeah.
Right, like, you know, like, I'm not saying that they were cut. Like, I know nothing about the Mandarin or the Cantonese dub of Gintama, but I'm just saying that, you know, when it comes to, like, you know, like you're talking about like bigger picture things, like really, like, you know, like, I guess more intense, more, you know, in depth jokes, they may have been either localized or removed, and then the anime stuff, again, you know, it's not like China doesn't get anime from Japan. They're right. They're close enough. Like they can get the anime just fine, and they have been for a very long time. So, you know, to say that they won't get some of those jokes might be silly. I mean, I'm sure China's gotten more anime manga than we have, or maybe even ever will, right?
Right.
So, you know, or at least for a longer amount of time. I mean, think about it, right? The 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Even though people were like, "What do you mean we got anime?" But did we really? Right, like compared to what Japan was putting out, it's like, did we really? Even now, some would say, do we really? But I mean, with streaming services and stuff like that, you're getting all this anime immediately. So you're getting more anime now than you ever really have.
Right.
You know, even if you're not going through streaming services and you're just, you know, watching them online, still, you're getting more anime than you ever have gotten. So the way I look at it is you know, it's when it comes to the jokes, it makes sense that they would pretty much all translate well, or at least the visual stuff will. I just never thought of it happening. I don't know. I never. I guess because Gintama was never really big in the U.S. anyway, so it's not really on my radar. I have some of the volumes on my shelf. They're funny.
Yeah.
But they was never really on my radar. All right, so we cut. Oh, yeah. Unless you want to say something.
Yeah.
All right, so then we'll cut back into you saying something.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the other things for Gintama always felt like they have a very nice balance of comedy and action, but also, I guess, for a movie, for like a live action movie,
Right.
they do your typical anime stunts that would be like, well, how are we gonna put that into live action? But it doesn't do it too much, and half the time they do it so ridiculously
Oh, so
that
you've seen some clips from the film.
no, I haven't seen clips personally. I'm just speaking of what I've seen like in the anime and stuff like
What
that.
could be adapted?
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
It feels easier to adapt into a live action platform versus other animes
Yeah,
that have tried to, and
yeah,
it's jarring.
certain Dragon Balls,
Yeah.
Zeto, whatever, you know,
Um, but
that'll.
it also feels like Gintama's a good series to have a movie, in
Hmm.
the sense that its characters have like bigger arcs, but it's
Hmm.
also got a slice of life feel to it
Okay.
with action in it. So
Yeah.
I feel like you can jump into this movie. Like you don't even have to have read, say, the manga or seen the anime. I feel like it's a movie that you could jump into and just find the characters funny and interesting just from the movie itself. And I think
Hmm.
maybe that's why the movie is doing as well as it is that you don't have to have much background to jump into it, depending on when they're doing it. I get like if it was a thing taking place later in the series.
Right, and you don't know that, but I mean, again,
No,
we're just assuming that they're obviously a Gintama movie. They're trying to make it as open as possible.
right.
They're not
Yeah.
like taking the newest arc and adapting it. That would be weird. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4. That would just be strange if you made a live action movie based on Part 4 of an ongoing series. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I'm sure it's going to be a great movie. This hypothetical JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 movie that I'm talking about. But it just seems weird that they would do that. So I assume the Gintama movie is not going to start from episode 3